up guys, Max here from MaksWerks Home, and this is going to be our first home video. One thing I want to stress up front is I am not a professional home builder. I don't know the codes. When there are some of the bigger projects we're going to be doing, they're going to have building code stuff involved. I'm going to comment on it when I get there, but make sure, please, before you launch any project, make sure that you understand what the housing code in your area is, or the zoning code as it may, and follow it appropriately. So today's project is going to be a small project. It's going to deal with lighting up the garage. I do all my motorcycle work in the garage. I spend a lot of time in here, and as a result, this is a place that I really need to be well lit, properly lit, so I can continue doing the work that I do. So currently, as you can see, we got one bare 60-watt bulb, and then I got two 60-watt bulbs that are in the two garage door openers. This is not nearly enough light to do anything useful with. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be replacing this one 60-watt fixture with four dual fluorescent 40-watt per bulb, so 80-watt per fixtures. And the way we're going to lay it out is there's basically going to be one right behind each garage door opener, and then a second unit that's going to be in the front of the garage. Eventually this area over here will be a workbench, and that light will be particularly useful for doing little projects like carburetors and stuff like that. So talking about some of the products we're going to be using, this is just a power strip. I got this from Home Depot for about $4. Just your regular 4-foot or 3-foot extension, 6 outlet power strip. We're going to be jumping all of our lights off of this, and we're going to be cutting off this Edison plug and hardwiring it in place up here. Then we're going to be using this. It's called an outlet concealer. Basically just a metal plate that's going to go over there, and we're going to drill a hole through it to run our wire out. These guys right here are just plastic coated staples. We're going to use them to nail the wiring to the ceiling, keep it trim. This right here, company's called Utilitech. These are sold for about $12 a piece at Home Depot, or I'm sorry, at Lowe's. Only at Lowe's. So Home Depot sells a competitive product to this that's also about 12 bucks, but the ones from Home Depot, their ballasts go out, and so they're useless. I've had these going non-stop for 2.5 years in various garages, and because I moved them from garage to garage. So I bought basically just some more of them for the new fixtures. And then of course we're going to be using, I got Sylvania 4100K lights. They're 40 watts, they're T12 connectors. And they're just general lights. You can buy them in a 10-pack, a little cheaper, since we're putting up 4 lights. That's 8 bulbs, figure 2 as spares. It's a pretty good deal for about $20. So light bulbs get pretty hot. So step one is to take a rag or something similar and unscrew this bulb that's in the light fixture. So there we go. It's a generic 60-watt Philips light bulb, and we are going to be replacing it with 4 filament lights. Now, inside of here, when you're underneath this light fixture, you'll actually see there's 2 Phillips head screws. These hold the light fixture in place, and we're going to remove them to remove this light fixture and then cut the wires. And here you can see the importance of a well-lit workspace, which I obviously don't have yet. So here's your light fixture that came out, basically just unscrews. Here's the back-off plate that we're going to be using that we talked about earlier. Here's the power strip, and basically it's just 3 wires, basically 2 for your 120 and your floating ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to cut this plug off like that. And then depending on how it's insulated, you can see that that one's basically got it's just poured in there. So we'll just cut it off a little bit and get those wires free. And then we can strip the wires down and hook it all up. So yeah, basically just make a few slits like that, and then this kind of rough insulation should come out pretty steadily, and then normally you just cut it off like you're cutting a piece of fruit. There you go. So here we have a white, a green, and a black. Your white and black are going to be your two 120 phase wires that are going to correspond to a white and black up in the ceiling. And then the green is your ground. Sometimes there's a green wire, sometimes it's just a bare copper wire that's also a floating ground. So, and can be used the same way. So we're just going to strip this material back. And in terms of mounting it up in the ceiling, you can use these guys generally inside the house. It's acceptable, I think, by building standards. You'll find most houses are like that. You can go the extra distance and solder it if you want. I'm probably just going to use these to put this back in. Then you can just use a drill bit and drill a hole like this through the backing plate. And then now we can just go up there and wire this into the stock wiring, fix our back plate, and then start running our wires. There we go, the panel is installed, and we can actually test it by turning on the switch. Then you can see the red light on the power strip is on, so we know it's all active. Now we're going to mount the power strip to the ceiling just loosely, and then we can start hanging the lights. Inside of each package there's two small hooks, and the hooks can go straight into the drywall. They don't necessarily have to go into a stud because it's not very heavy. What we're actually going to do is we're going to put the hook on each side of our garage door opener here, and that will allow us to basically stretch the lines out like that to make sure that the light is fairly flush up against the ceiling. So a couple of things. You want to center the hooks so that they're facing away from where you're pulling. Now, because the garage is fairly low ceiling height and I want to utilize as much space as possible, that's why I put the hook so close, so it basically pulls it up as tight as it can up against the garage ceiling. And now, eventually this is going to be just plugged into here, like that. There's going to be lights in there. At this point we can just screw the bulbs in and we should be good to go. A note on the hooks, they go into straight drywall. You don't need to put them into a stud. However, I like to make sure to screw them in all the way until the screw threads disappear. So that's just one light, and you can already see how much brighter the garage is. If I take the camera out of the holder and kind of move it back over here just to see the garage as a whole, you can already see how much brighter just one light made it. And we're going to be adding 4 up here and then 2 in the back. You can see those are my old lights. It's the exact same design as what I just bought. Those were in my old garage. They were on for, like I said, close to 2 years, just being on all the time. So there we go. So we're going to use what's called an Edison screw adapter or an Edison plug adapter. Basically what this is it's a special bulb adapter. Basically the regular bulb screws in here. It's a pass-through, but it also gives you a jumper to wire a regular plug off the side, and that's what we're going to do to light the back half of the garage. So there we go. Now I just got to clean up the wiring a little bit. As you can see, I ended up having to flush mount the light. They actually sell lights that will flush mount. These are the old ones from my old garage, so I didn't think that I should buy flush mounts, but clearly that was a better idea. It's not a big deal. You can just take it apart. It's a few bolts, and then just bolt the upper part to the ceiling. But there you have it. Well, there we are. So for now, we got 4 light fixtures, 2 that are hanging, 2 that are flush mounted. Those back 2 are actually controlled off of the lights in the garage door opener. And as a result, I can turn them off independently of the lights up here. Now, I know when we started, I said I was going to put up 6 lights total, but the 2 that go all the way in the front of the garage, I'm not going to put up until I tear down this shelving structure over here and put in a full workbench that's going to go over here, and then I'm going to center those lights over the workbench so that I can use them effectively. So for now, this is going to be it. But as you can see, there is, compared to the original view, there is a crap ton more light in here. Everything is safely wired up. We're not exceeding any sort of current limitations. We're not going to pop any breakers. So all in all, that is Project Success. Including the lights that I didn't hang. All in all, this is about $100 worth of stuff. These light fixtures are about $10 a piece. And it's $20 for all the lights, for all the bulbs. Those adapters I showed you are about $2 a piece. And various little things like these little staples that hold the wires in place are a few dollars as well. So for about $100, you can put in 6 fluorescent lighting fixtures that'll turn on in the hot and the cold. They'll run all year long if you get them to. And they'll provide you, without being a real source of heat, they'll provide you quite a bit of light in an enclosed space. So there you go. Please, if you like the video, subscribe. There's going to be a lot more home improvement stuff. A lot of it's going to be much more intensive than this. And as always, check out my motorcycle videos and take a look at the blog at MaksWerks.com. Thank you.